Hi, everyone. Welcome to Module 12. This is the final week of our course. So in Module 12, you'll be asked to revise an essay, and you can choose between the This I Believe essay or the Humor Argument essay. Then you'll be asked to complete the final reflection assignment. And there's an extra credit / optional assignment, which is to participate in the Module 12 discussion. So when you see the revise an essay assignment, you'll see that you have two choices. You should go to the My Grades area of the course to find feedback for these two assignments. So look for the Module 5, This I Believe essay, and look for the Module 8, Humor Argument assignment. If you completed these assignments, you'll see in the My Grades area that I've attached a PDF for each assignment, and I give you lots of feedback and comments to help you strengthen your work. And so please read through the feedback for both of the assignments and then choose one and use the feedback to make corrections, to add more information, and to ensure that you're using MLA format. And then you should submit this new revised version of your assignments in Module 12. And I will read your work and give you a score and give you some comments. We're doing this so that you can get some practice with applying feedback from an instructor. And it'll help you kind of think about what you've learned with this essay and how you've grown and changed throughout the course. Then after you revise an essay, move forward in the module and you'll see that there's the final reflection assignment. And so this assignment is worth 100 points. It's worth 10% of the course grade. You'll see a video to help you learn more about reflections and what to include in a good reflection. And then you'll see that there are 5 parts to complete, and I'm going to go over those 5 parts now. So the first part of the final reflection assignment asks you to read, highlight, and annotate the instructions for the final reflection assignment. Notice that on the left side of the screen, there's one example and then another example on the right side of the screen. I would encourage you to do what you see here on the right side of the screen. And so as you read the instructions, strategically highlight, right? Choose what you think are the most, 3 or 4 words in each sentence or part that are most important and highlight those. It's better to strategically highlight instead of highlighting kind of everything, because here it's a big block of yellow and we're not really sure what stands out, right? But here with the blue, you see that specific parts are highlighted, the most important ideas in the sentences that this person thinks are most important. They highlight those. Most important too, you should add comments to summarize, reflect, and ask questions on the assignment. And so as you're reading through the instructions, you could kind of summarize what you think the purpose of the assignment is, summarize what you're being asked to do with this assignment. You could ask questions, right, about kind of what you're thinking about the assignment, or what you notice from the assignment, or what you should focus on. So you should really be interacting with the text. When I open your annotations, I should be able to see why you're highlighting different parts, or what you think is most important, or your summary, where you're paraphrasing or summarizing what you're being asked to do. So I can tell that you're really thinking about these instructions and thinking about what you're going to produce with this assignment. After this, you're asked to paraphrase the learning outcomes. And so in our course, we have 4 learning outcomes. These are the goals we're trying to meet by the end of the course. These are learning outcomes are also listed on our course syllabus, but they're also included in the reflection assignment. And so with each outcome, you're asked to state the objective in your own unique way. And so consider how you can share these ideas in your own way, in the way that you interpret them. Remember, when we paraphrase, we use synonyms and we change the structure of the sentence. And so you might go through and look for key words like, what's another way to say summarize? What's another word for texts? What's another way to say integrating? What's another way to say source material? What's another way to say new writing, right? Try to think of synonyms. And then try to structure the sentence in your own unique way. One way to do this that I would encourage you to try is to start with the end of the sentence first. And so what's a synonym for writing, right? Or new writing? I think of assignment when I think of this. And so I might start with the idea that in IRW 980, students need to create their own assignments that do what, right? Try to say these ideas in your own words. Okay, and you might read this aloud and then look away, right? Cover this part up and then write from memory in your own way too, right? And try to think of synonyms and try to structure the sentence differently. And you should do this for all 4 of the learning outcomes. You should paraphrase them. After this, you're asked to use pre-writing strategies for 4 questions and make sure that you address all 4 of the learning outcomes, all of the objectives. And so think about what did you already know about the 4 learning outcomes when you began the term? So we learned about using a reading process. We learned about using a writing process. We learned about summarizing, paraphrasing, and integrating that into our own writing. We learned about how to create, a new piece of writing that is focused, right? And, think about what you've learned with all 4 of those outcomes. What did you already know? What did you learn in our class about the 4 outcomes? Include examples from your own assignments. What kinds of challenges did you experience with the outcomes? So, was one more challenging than the other, maybe? What did you think you did well with the outcomes? Then what questions do you still have about the outcomes? What else do you hope to learn about the outcomes? And consider all 4 of the learning outcomes, right? What do you want to learn about all 4? What questions do you have about all 4? Any challenges you had about all 4? And with these questions, you can choose the pre-writing strategy or strategies you'd like to use. So maybe you'd just like to free write about each of them. That's fine. Or maybe you'd like to create a list with each one of them. Or maybe you want to create a list for 2 and then do cluster maps for the other 2. You get to decide. But we want to answer all of these questions and we want to consider all of the learning outcomes. So you're showing me that you know how to use pre-writing strategies. Then you'll move forward and you'll see that the next part of the reflection assignment is to develop 4 reflection paragraphs. And so you're writing a paragraph for each one of the outcomes. Your goal is to convince me that you have carefully considered how you've grown and changed as a college reader and writer, while also acknowledging areas in which you'd still like to improve. Each outcome should be described in a separate paragraph. Each paragraph should include a topic sentence, evidence, and a closing or transition sentence. You should have 4 detailed, organized paragraphs when you've completed this part. And please be careful to proofread your reading, right? Look for any errors you may have before you submit this part. And so I would encourage you also to go back and look at your paraphrases, and you could include those, right, in the paragraphs you create. Also go back and look at what you developed from your pre-writing strategies. Think about which examples you'd like to include in these reflection paragraphs that you write. That way you'll have 4 detailed, organized paragraphs, right? And then you can submit those paragraphs. And the final part of this assignment is called Transfer What You Have Learned. Here you'll see that there are 3 questions. And so these questions ask you to think about anything you found difficult with this reflection assignment, what helped you plan and create your paragraphs for the assignment, and then to set some goals for your future classes, to think about how you're going to transfer what you learned in your courses. How will you continue to build on these skills in the future classes that you take? I'd encourage you to write at least 2 sentences for each one of these questions. So after the reflection assignment, you'll see that there's a discussion. This is optional for extra credit, where you can answer the discussion questions and respond to 2 of your peers. So this is a way to make up some points from the discussion. If maybe you missed some responses on another discussion, or there's a week that you missed, you can get some points to make up for that. Or it's just a great way to kind of end out the course, right? To encourage your classmates to kind of say goodbye. There's a module checklist like there always is. And I'm here to support you. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is the last week of our course, so I hope you have a great week. I look forward to reading your reflection assignment, and I hope you have a really great break after this week. Take care. Bye.